Wrong.
So the first tier, you would say the Lost Artifact is a lot better to go for first, so that you can do more faster rather than wasting 400 on the purple plot.
450, yeah. Exactly. Plus the 5 MP5 that you're getting from the Lost Artifact kind of helps out, considering Isis is pretty mana hungry. If you're going to be sitting there being aggressive in lane, as you should be playing it, the Isis Agni matchup is one that you need to play very, very aggressively at the beginning. As you can see, Hazy there, just like showing top notch, like not putting any damage down, but throwing the silence down on him and showing him like, I am the dominant force in this lane. Until you get those bombs, you're not going to be able to clear lane well.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm looking towards the duo lane now, and nothing too out of the ordinary, nothing too aggressive. A bit strange how Shibalanke is winning in the push, though. Against a Neath?
Yeah, that's something you won't see very often. That is probably a cause of who got to the... Actually, no, as you can see on the minimap now, on the side of Llamas in Pajamas, they're going to do their... And we've missed First Blood in the solo lane.
Don't worry, I got it.
Just to pick up the solo kill on Shruix. Very interesting. You don't see Sobek soloing anyone that early.
No, not really. The power comes from... I mean, well, he doesn't really have that much power. He just sort of clears wave, doesn't he? Although it was a very nice ultimate into a dash, I think it was there, and a tail whip, able to secure that kill. So nice play there by Picklefinger. Although a teleport right away from Guan to get back to lane. So he's not missing out on too much.
Not a lot at all. Picklefinger is going to be up with the extra gold he gets from receiving the First Blood there. So he's in the driver's seat in this. He's probably about a level and a quarter up on Shruix, which is going to be able to allow Pickle to rotate a lot earlier.
Oh, that Neath ult forced Shruix away once again, and he just teleported back. 30 seconds later, he's forced it back once again as we got a fight around the mid camps. Hazy taking down Tony Decap a little bit there. Now he's forced it back. Can't really do too much. Freemason looking for another engage. He's got a taunt. He's got the preemptive strike charged up. Picklefinger has rotated over. He's looking for the dash. He misses. Does he have the tail whip? No, it gets interrupted under tower. Stunned as well. Can they return a kill? No, they can't. Picklefinger gets out on just a minimal amount of health. Very well played there by both teams, but a few mistakes as well.
Couple mistakes that probably could have gone a lot better. Erratic just noticing that Sobek's under tower. He's like, I've got my ult. I'm going to stun him under tower. He's already taken tower shots. He's pretty low. Very, very strong play by Erratic there. Just shows a lot of situational awareness. Very, very good to see.
It does indeed. And now, okay. So I want to talk about this Athena, because CC is very highly sought after in this meta due to CC reduction value getting a lot higher because of the beads nerf. So Athena with the taunt on I think it's 15-second cooldown with the dash as well. Pop speeds and then can re-engage once again. Do you think Blink is a good idea for Athena? I like it. Is it competitively good?
You've already got the good engage though for the early game. For the early game, preemptive strike in, confound, taunt them up. Your team's going to be doing damage to them. Admittedly, it is going to be on an 18-second cooldown, and only T1 of it's a 1-second taunt, but that's still a lot of time to get a good amount of damage off. However, late game, you can't really be dashing in because you'll just die. You dash in and taunt, your team can get some kills, you can get some damage off, but you're then stuck in a really, really bad situation where you're amongst the enemy team and you've got no getaway. So, Blink, good on Athena, definitely not first relic though. If your team is lacking big engage, which you probably shouldn't be with a Thor, then I would say pick it up second for your second relic when you hit level 12.
Oh, certainly second relic. The first relic you really want for something to engage or disengage, as we see Freemason has got that weakening curse. Well, it's just called curse now, isn't it? I prefer sprint. I like sprint a lot because it takes away all slows and gives a massive AoE speed increase to all allies. So it's massive disengage or engage if necessary. So it's a good side to both sides of the coin.
Yeah, you're exactly right. As you said, the sprint will negate the slow from the darts from Rana Barana. But the weakening curse is also pretty good at catching Geb out if he has his rollout down, especially when a bunch of people are just up in there trying to kill him. Let's talk builds for a moment.
Yep.
We're seeing Tory Skies. He's gone from Boombas, usual start, Warrior Tabi, Warrior Tabi, and then he's picked up Morningstar, which means he's got to go into Transcendence there. There's no way he's going to be picking up a Hydra's unless he's been paying attention to Funke's value, in which case he will not be picking up the Hydra Star. But
it's not
so
bad.
He's going to be wanting to get some stacks online to get that mana, just all that mana in him, so that he can be as aggressive as possible and not have to worry about any, I suppose, lack of mana, not being able to cast out his spells, so that no one will be able to get away.
Oh, there's an engage in the mid lane, a dash and two-man taunt. Thor's in the ear, Picklefinger's up in the... Oh, sorry. Picklefinger's down in the ground, and Almune does pick up a kill onto Hazy. There's the Cats down on towards Picklefinger, but he is so tanky. He's taking barely any damage. Anyone in the backline? No, I thought Neath had rotated just a little bit earlier. Unfortunately not. Just using that ult to help secure that one kill, and after that, how much of a lead? Wow, it's just evened up there.
That was a really good disengaged Cats by Tori's guys. As you can see, there were four of them in the mid lane, all full health. Tori drops the Cats, immediately Picklefinger turns around and runs away. He doesn't want to be slowed by that. He doesn't want to be taking any damage by that. I think it's a bit of a misplay on the side of Invidious. I think they should have probably gone in for the kill there on the Bastet. She was like about half health, maybe a little bit below, and it would have been a bit of an easy kill there. Not too sure if her jump was available to her, but the disengaged Cats was pretty smart by Tori, and it kind of scared off Invidious. They kind of wanted to run away.
It doesn't look like he's been able to back to see if he will go for the Transcendence start. I really want to see what he goes
He goes
into.
Hydra Star. He's nuts. He's nuts. He needs to get off Twitter. He needs to stay away from Fonke's guides. Just not what to do on Bastet. I think even Fonke would agree on that one.
Looking at the 80 carry builds, we can see that Almune is already Warriors Tabi ahead of Rana Barana, which is pretty huge at the moment, especially on a Neath whose base ability physical scaling is pretty huge.
Rana's just coming back from base now. He's able to pick up tier 2 of boots and a sentry ward and a health pot as well. I think he would have fallen short. He probably got about like 400 or 500 gold in hand after buying all that. So he wouldn't have been able to pick up the full Warrior Tabi. He's only like 200 gold behind Almune, which is relatively good. He's farming well considering Almune's gotten a kill and he hasn't just yet.
I want to take a look at Golden Hand. How much is Shibalonke sitting on? Only 600, so he's pretty far behind.
Close to, if he was to maybe wait around in base for a little bit, he would have been able to pick up that Warrior Tabi. But we are seeing a bit of a grouping in the left-hand jungle around Gold Fury. They've dropped a Sentry Ward and they're deciding they're going to Cats the Gold Fury. Tori Sky's dropping his ultimate there. Hazy getting a long-range Spirit Ball, maximizing that damage. But Athena's up in there. Freemason's not letting him do it. Almune with a nice ulti onto Bastet, poking out Tori a little bit, making him retreat back. He's just going to back off to base. But no, Tony Decap comes in with a big ulti and cleans up Tori Skies, and he's just going to beads and hammer away from the Isis. And it looks like Invidious is going to start up this Gold Fury. But no, Blink, Cataclysm, and knock up from Erratic, but unfortunately he's going to go down to Almune, who had a nice weave set up there.
Oh, and the pluck onto Shrooks. He's going to get taken down in the middle of 5 enemies and does get destroyed. Almune picking that one up, and that's going to be kill number 3 for him, already far ahead of the Shibalonke, like we mentioned, and that lead is going to be extended even further. And Invidious picked up the Gold Fury there, so they were able to counter-initiate there. Picklefinger now with the pluck, and Hazy way too far out of position, too close to a Sobek, and 5 men worth of damage will be able to destroy him. Now looking for the tier 2. Can they return a kill? Tony Decap, will he get taken down? No, he's on about... How much health is that?
Oh my god.
8?
He was on 8 health and he managed to get away from that. Tori Skies will be spewing from that. That Gold Fury fight that just happened was basically won and lost with Almune's positioning. Almune was positioned so perfectly so that he was able to get his damage off safely, not get poked out at all. Even if he did, he would have been able to heal it up a little bit. But his positioning was so well there. He had a weave set up, Erratic blinked in with the Cataclysm, chunked him to oblivion, getting the kill there, and then being able to rotate around and get another kill while still staying so safe and letting the tanky members on his team be the front line while he sits there and drops down his damage. Really, really good positioning there from Almune.
What do you think about this, a magical damage magical protection on Guan Yu as the first item after Warrior Tabai. Of course, he needs it against the Sobek, but would he rather the physical damage rather than protections?
The way they've got their team comp kind of set out at the moment, with Erratic picking up picking up a bit of physical protection early, he's going to be the one tanking the towers, and Guan's going to be the one sitting there healing. So Guan's not really going to be tanking any towers, which means he can get away with the magical defense for Top Notch when he drops the bombs. Picklefinger, who first blooded him, so obviously he's doing some pretty strong damage, and whatever minimal damage Athena will be doing at this stage of the game. Not too bad, but I probably would have gone for a... I don't know, maybe even a Spirit Robe if it's early. Guan Yu's pretty team fight orientated, so Height of the Urchin wouldn't have been too bad either.
Looks like Rana's caught out here. Taunt just to dash away. Okay. Pretty easy for Rana to just press 3 and walk away. Here we go in the mid lane, though. It looks like Initiation's coming out. Huge damage onto Hazy. Tap. The dash and the tail whip. Top Notch able to secure it. It looks like with the passive from Agni.
Picklefinger ran up. He wanted that kill. He was about to. He was just going to dab on him and take that last bit of help. But no, we are going to see a big taunt onto Tory Skies in the mid lane. A lot of damage dropping down from Top Notch. I think he's only got one bomb available to him. Picklefinger, look at him. He's a man. He's just sitting in their tower ulting while Top Notch is dropping all this damage. But unfortunately, that tick damage from Bastet is very, very strong.
Oh, the huge ult from
that was
Thor.
Incredible. Unfortunately, he doesn't have any more mana to work with right here. Pickle getting relatively low. Taunt managing to stop that Talu assault from Shruix there, and that's just going to be a bit of a disengage. 1-for-1 trade-off. Unfortunately, they couldn't get the mid tower, but Llamas have put their name on the board with the first kill of the game for them.
Yeah, could this be the start of a comeback? Although the beautiful pluck into tower onto Erratic from Pickle, nice pluck there, but not going to find any fruits there.
Yeah, there was. I think that was just a lack of communication there. I think Pickle didn't really say he was going for a dash, because if Pickle was going for a dash, Freemason would have been like, "All right, I'm going to taunt him, and he's going to stay in tower."
Oh, nice two-man Spirit Ball onto Almoon, forces the beads, so Gibbs gonna know that. Next time he can blink ult, it'll be focusing down Almoon, who's already 3-0-3, level 14, and so far in gold. Let's take a look at gold in hand is what I want to see. Where's the Neath? At 1,000, and she's just backed. Wow. Wait, no, she hasn't. Yeah, she just backed, but didn't spend all of it. Interesting.
She's definitely going to be saving up. She wants that kin size. That's what it's going to be. She's going to be wanting to get kin size this early. I don't know if she'd really be going for an Executioner. Could be RC, but if she had 1,000 in hand, she'd only have to wait for 80 gold, and then she'd be able to get that RC, which at second tier. But we are going to see a pause and then a really quick unpause as well. Nope, they're just toying with our emotions.
They're just trying to pause.
Apologies, they're just toying with our emotions.
Maybe this is just a replay issue.
They're teasing us.
Let's fast forward through this, shall we?
I'll sync up to you, and we can. I'll let you take charge on that one.
Cool. All right, here we go. Back again. See, this is the benefits of casting from replay. It's just so good. So, all right, back into this game. Let's take a look at the lead that Invidious have. They're sitting at 2,500 gold and 2,500 experience, so that's pretty huge. Although
very good for 15 minutes.
Definitely. How do you see Llamas coming back into this game? Where is their
it's going to be the notorious Tory split push Bastet. That's going to be that. Unfortunately, it's a thing.
That is the benefit of Bastet, isn't it? Just press 4 and then get a crusher.
Press 4 and take towers down with ease. Shruix is... It's very good that they've got Shruix on Guan here, because they're going to be able to 4v5 and kind of hold and sustain over objectives like Gold Fury, Fire Giant, or Towers, while Tory is then able to run around and Cats Towers and Phoenixes and split push for the win. It is looking like Invidious is strongly in the driver's seat, and it would take quite a bit of effort from Llamas to get back into this one. But it's still there. There's still a very big possibility.
What I like to look at is wards as well. So 15 minutes into the game, and there's pretty even warding going around. 7 for Freemason, which is pretty big. 7 times 50, assuming that he's got regular wards, is I can't do maths really quick. 350 gold. Mid lane, nice taunt onto Tory Skies. A lot of damage on towards him. He's forced to back Erratic, looking for a rollout. Doesn't find the knock up, and Tony Decap just sort of walks around the ice as Spirit Balls. So for a little bit of an engage, nothing really happens from that. Although it looked like Neath started to rotate.
Neath has started to rotate. She wants to push up. Albion pushed up his lane, which put a bit of map pressure on, and Brana lost out on a bit of farm there. He's going to be losing out on gold, but it is looking like Invidious are going to be starting up this Gold Fury. Erratic with the big rollout in. Taunt coming out onto Brana. He's going to beads and dash away. That's his beads and dash down for a bit. Tori jumps in, drops the catch, drops the tick onto Top Notch. Top Notch taking quite a bit of damage. Shruix jumping for the backline, but that is a great Aegis by Top Notch, being able to get rid of that last bit of damage from Shruix's ult. Nice stun from Tony Decap there. The double tap, putting Hazy down to under half health. Beautiful, beautiful pluck by Pickle there. Tory Sky's getting very, very low. Shruix there, as you can see, the power of Guan Yu just being able to heal and sustain through these team fights. Erratic picking up the kill onto Pickle Finger, and they're chasing Almun's very, very low, and he's going to be able to get away there. And they're just going to want to start up that Gold Fury.
And that was a beautiful fight from Llamas, forcing Invidious to split up, and then they could force all of their damage into one player, and it just singled out Invidious. And then they...
Have a look at the gold graphs. From that one fight,
wow,
Llamas in Pajamas were able to turn around the XP difference and the gold difference to make it almost nothing. They just came back from 2,500
in one
gold,
fight.
2,500 in experience, all in that one team fight.
Beautiful play from Llamas in Pajamas there, and credit to Invidious for stopping the Gold Fury and warding it up, but it was a very nice reply from Llamas to single everyone out and force their 5 damage dealers, all members of Llamas were focusing one person at a time, so it dropped their health bars very quickly. Beautiful blink, torn onto 2 members, Top Notch able to pick up a double kill. Nice reply, Rana rooted in place, doesn't get across the wall. Unfortunately, he is going to go down here, not without taking a return kill onto Top Notch though. Very nice 1v3 there. That was actually 1v4.
That was a 1v4, and those branching bowlers actually do a lot of damage. Not many people realize it, but you group up and you're all trying to sit on this one Xbalanque. He just presses one, holds down left click, and he'll probably take someone with you. He'll probably take someone with him, sorry.
Massive damage. I want to take a look at where is player damage. 10,000 for the Xbalanque already. Wow.
And the most crucial thing about getting kills with Xbalanque is the passive. He's going to be able to get that passive online as quickly as possible. He's already gotten 2 kills, so that's adding up. He's almost there.
Considering how far behind he's been all of this game, that's actually not too bad. And the amount of damage that he's been dealing is massive as well. Freemason going under the tier 2 tower, looking for a kill onto Erratic, although Gib Shield keeps him healthy through all of the damage. Freemason on the backhand of that trade, and now here comes the cavalry charge from Guan, but he decides to turn around, doesn't go for the stun, and now the team fight has actually disengaged while Picklefinger has rotated over.
Well, back to Almun's build where we saw him with tier 2 of kin size. He did end up going for the kin size, which explains why he held 1,000 gold. However, on the right side of the map, we do see Llamas in Pajamas grouping for this tier 2. Erratic just sitting there. I am Geb. I put shield on. I take no damage from anything as my team takes down a tier 1 tower.
One of
Fantastic
the
stuff.
many beautiful...
Really good grouping. Well-oiled machine.
One of the many beautiful ways of using that Geb shield. Of course, saves a life, but also tanks about 10 tower shots, not exaggerated.
It's so good. And baiting people with that Geb shield. You can all be all in on this one character, and then out of nowhere, Geb shield, and they are able to get away because it keeps them alive for that extra second or two, and their cooldowns would coincide, and they'd be able to jump away, get away, dash away, do whatever they need to do. It's such a powerful ability. It is the best ability in the game, I'd say.
I can't argue with that. It's just so good with the amount of health and the cleansing.
And it scales off his HP as well. Exactly.
Yeah.
So you're getting a support, which is going to be tanky anyway. Oh, but that being said, in the right tower, we are going to see the Blink Taunt, and Shruix is going to go onto Almun, taking a lot of damage as well as tower damage. Athena's ult is going to be wasted from that. Spirit Ball onto Tony there from Hazy, but it looks like they just want to run away.
They have to disengage. They lost their 80 carry right at the start of this fight, so now Llamas have the lead. They're looking towards the engage. Very nice Spirit Ball to lock down Picklefinger. He takes a huge amount of damage. Who was that around the back? That is Gib, and Shruix being able to pick up 2 kills. Freemason, will that be the 3rd kill? Yes, it will.
Ooh.
And who's that in the very, very back lines? That's Tony Decap. He's between a tower and 5 members of Llamas in Pajamas, and again the Gib shield being able to tank up so much of that tower while the damage gets dealt towards it. Now the minions are here. Tony Decap coming around the back. Will he be able to do anything? 1v5. I don't think he will. He shouldn't go for this. His ult is down.
Those Guan heals are way too much. He was doing the right thing though. He was running back, maybe trying to bait 1 or 2 members out on the side of Llamas in Pajamas so that they wouldn't be able to take the tower down too quickly. As we could see, Top Notch was returning from base and Almume was coming back up from being picked early in that engagement. But unfortunately, they didn't take the bait.
And this is a huge turnaround for Llamas in Pajamas. They were down 2,000 gold and 8 kills at the start of this. At 15 minutes in the game, and in 7 minutes, they're able to turn the gold around to 3.7k gold and 5.4k XP. 11 to 8 are now the kills, and it looks like the start of a comeback for Llamas.
Yeah, this is definitely the momentum that they need going forward if they want to be able to take this game out. We are going to see the Gold Fury now being taken back again. Mason drops down the Sentry Ward, but nope, Llamas aren't going to fall for it. The dash taunt is going to miss Tory Skies. I don't know if that would have been much of a successful engage anyway, just given that the Almume was so far away from it. His Spirit Arrow would not have been able to hit. But very good positioning on that sentry there. It's also positioned there so that not only can they see what's in front of the Gold Fury, but also if Llamas in Pajamas choose to put a more defensive ward closer towards their red buff.
And this looks like the Gold Fury standoff now. Both teams are just waiting for someone to engage, but 2 members of engagement from Invidious, they can do whatever they want. Tory Skies gets plucked and picked off so quickly with the damage from Top Notch there on the Agni. Tony Decap, huge damage on towards him as he's up in the sky, going towards Hazy. No, actually doesn't sync up his ult with the Neath ultimate, so bit of a waste of the Neath ult.
Waste of the Neath ult and the Thor ult. He was trying to get away a bit, but also Thor ult being so powerful in that it is a counter initiate. But we are going to see the dash taunt onto Hazy, and that's going to force him to Aegis after taking one of the bombs from Top Notch's Agni. Top Notch only has 1 bomb available to him, but the Blink Cataclysm and the Cavalry Charge coming through, and they're focusing down Pickle. Shruix is going to be credited to the kill with that one. Freemason dropping very, very low, but the Bulwark passive proccing there, giving him that extra bit of health. Now they're onto the chase for Tony Decap, and the Athena ultimate. Not too sure why he ulted there. He wasn't in too much trouble, so he wouldn't need the mitigations, but Hazy's going to drop his ult and be credited to the kill. And down goes Hazy in return to Top Notch.
And this fight is just going everywhere, all around that red buff from the Gold Fury as well. And nothing... How many kills? That was only 3 in total.
Right lane,
2 for 1?
Right lane!
Oh, and Bastet.
Why must you do this to us?
Bastet doing Bastet things, taking a Phoenix.
Playing World of Warcraft, PvE, OPGG.
Oh, gosh. He's certainly a cat druid, isn't he? Oh, gosh.
Oh, big ultimate coming in from Tony Decap, getting people very, very low. Runner forced to dash away. Tony getting super, super low himself, having to stun and dash away. Shruix, no mana to work with there, might have been able to pull something off. But everyone on the side of Llamas in Pajamas, except for the Bastet, are just going to back off, replenish their health, buy some items, and come back to try and get that Gold Fury done.
So Hazy is 1,000 gold ahead of Top Notch, and he's gone for the Warlock Sash and then Obsidian Shard. What do you think of that as an ISIS player?
As an ISIS player, I'm still very, very on the fence about the Obsidian Shard. I look at Spear of the Magus, I'm like, what you once were was so beautiful, and then they ruined it.
They destroyed it. No more percentage for you.
It's still pretty good, I guess, on Isis and Poseidon and stuff like that, but the flat pen that you're getting, the percentage pen that you're getting, 33%, that's huge. I'd probably be building that as well.
Especially how health and protections have been separated. The protections are a lot better, but there's not a lot of health. So you need to get through more protections to be able to deal the damage that you want to get off there. Rod of
Exactly
Tahuti,
right.
though, for top notch on the Agni, it's not a bad build there. It's actually pretty good.
It's
And
a
the fact
fairly
that
good build. Fairly good build.
he's 5-2 as well, so he's able to get that Rod of Tahuti a lot easier because he's got so many more kills. And of course, it's 3,320, I think it is. So
Correct.
it's quite an
332.
expensive
It's a big
item there.
investment, but there's a big reward to it. You're getting 125.
Oh, the 2 counter initiates there as the blink from Gib under the tower. He takes a lot of damage. Tony Decap is the first to fall. Picklefinger picks off Rana Barana. That's a massive DPS taken off the board for Llamas in Pajamas, but that is a return kill, and Hazy with a double kill onto Pickle and Tony, while Rana is the only fall in from Llamas in Pajamas.
That was a
Almi.
that was an okay kind of trade-off there. However, you would have liked to keep, obviously you would have liked to keep Rana alive so that they could get the towers down. But Bastet is in the back hanging out there, does pick up the kill onto Almune. Bastet's going to be able to shred through these towers, but Tori on half health, half mana. He just wants to back off. He doesn't want to help his team get these Phoenixes or anything. They just want to be putting pressure on at the moment. They've already got the right side Phoenix down, Invidious' right side Phoenix, so there's a lot of map pressure coming down. Top Notch forced out of the fight so that he can protect that Titan. But you can see Llamas in Pajamas right now just doing so much damage to this Phoenix, and there's not a lot that anyone can really do to stop it. Tori's here in the left lane trying to get that Phoenix down. I don't believe he's dropped cats. He did. He dropped the cats on that. And it looks like they might take a third Phoenix here. Cavalry charge coming out. Hazy pretty low in the back. Picklefinger's going to pick up the kill on that one. Tony Decap comes in. Ults nothing. Manages to dash away from damage. Pickle needs to get out here, which he will.
The Titan, though, down to 50% HP just from the minions. Top Notch and Almune doing their best to defend, but that is open now for Bastet, who could backdoor if she wants to, or go for the Phoenix as soon as her ultimate is back up, which it is. So Invidious really need to be careful of their positioning.
That ultimate is up so quickly, especially with Tori's build. 90-second cooldown, and he's bought Jotuns on it. So there's going to be a 20% cooldown on that. So he's going to be able to drop cats and basically do whatever he wants. I would like to see, now that both the Phoenixes are down... right side Phoenix has come up. I want to see Llamas in Pajamas backing, buying up, getting a bunch of wards, a bunch of sentry wards, and pressuring around fire. Let the minions push into Invidious's Titan room, put the pressure on them, force them into a 4v5, maybe a 3v5 because they have to defend the Titan, and then get some picks, take Fire Giant, and push for the win. That should be the game plan from Llamas right now.
So they're securing up this Fire Giant. They really want to get that. Make sure that they can secure this game easily in one team fight, just to extend their lead even further. Take a look at gold, 10,000. If someone told you that Invidious was 2,500 gold and XP up at 15 minutes in the game, followed by 8 kills to 0, would you be able to say, okay, no, they're going to throw in somehow Llamas and Pajamas are going to take one team fight and turn this entire game around?
Yes and no. There's both. Oh, we are going to see a Heavenly popped on the right-hand side, and a big force led by Shruix there. He's just going to want to charge down here and get that right Phoenix. Keep more map pressure on. Put really rubbing salt in the wounds of Invidious right now. But we are going to see Shruix manage to credit the kill against Top Notch. Cataclysm comes in, and a lot of damage just pouring out of everywhere. Picklefinger's ult is not going to deter Rana Barana from wanting to chase down Almune. Almune's sitting there charging up his ultimate. Stayed a little bit too long and is going to get picked up by the wing gust of an Isis. Hazy credited to that kill again. Cats have been dropped on the Titan. Titan's getting super low. 1,500 health, 1,000 health, 600, and that is going to be game. Tony Decap is going to pick up that kill just at the end on Tori Skies, but unfortunately we are going to see Invidious fall to Llamas in Pajamas, who played the game a little bit poorly at the beginning, being 6-0 down at around 15 minutes, but came back in the end thanks to Tori's PvE skills.
And that's the power of Bastet, isn't it? It's just press 4 and take down a tower very easily. Not too difficult for him there. And congratulations to Llamas and Pajamas there. Unfortunately, Invidious were knocked out of the tournament there, and that was round 2. Our next game is going to be the grand finals between Llamas and Pajamas and Rovers, and we'll be able to see who takes that one out. Who would you say was the MVP of that game, other than Bastet pressing 4?
No, Bastet's never an MVP. Not paying it.
That's what I mean. Other than
I'm going to say on the side of Invidious, I'm going to have to give it to Top Notch or Almune. It's a very tight one there because both their positioning was very, very good. Their damage output was pretty good considering the conditions of like losing a bit towards the mid and inevitably the late. But I'm going to have to go and probably give that one to Pickle only because his pluck set up so many good kills and he was able to first blood Shruix in lane. On the side of Llamas in Pajamas, Shruix. I'm going to have to say Shruix. He did.
Shruix?
Shruix's heals, dude. He healed 12,823.
Oh wow! Actually,
that's just a little bit less than the entire damage output of Thor.
Wow!
So he basically
made Thor non-existent.
He almost out-healed an entire character, which is just the power of a Guan Yu. He was there shredding protections at the beginning of engagements, and then towards the end of them, he was picking out anyone that was left over, and as well as healing up his team.
I have to say,
I'm going to have to give that one on Shruix.
Play of the game goes to Rana Barana being able to pick up a kill in a 1v4 situation, while half the time he was in the ear from Rising Jaguar taking damage from everyone. He just turned around, pressed 1 and left click and was able to pick up a kill. It's huge damage. To be fair, keeping on one single target against 4, trying to body block for that one person is super hard to get through. So massive props to Rana for being able to do that.
Bowler's OP, dude. Bowler's OP.
All right, we're going to go to a quick standby. What do you call it? Standby image.
Intermission. We'll give it a little intermission.
There you go. We're going to take a quick break while we load up game number 2 for you guys. Just enjoy the music, and we'll be right back.
Enjoy the music. Oh my god.